disruption and challenges to payments. The good news is, through our bridge and gateway in partnership with Metallicus, we can make sure that your deposit dollars don't have to leave your FI. Yeah. You stay a funding source in the payment stream and the transaction stream, and you can maintain wealth and share of wallet and continue to serve the community even as money morphs in the way that other services did when they bumped into the internet in the past. Yeah. So that's what we.
So in today's video breakdown, I want to really thoroughly touch on some updates that have recently taken place via Metallicus that just go hand in hand with something that was said back a couple of months ago in September 2025 via this interview with John Ungerland and Marshall Hayner. Something that John had said that caught my eye, because a lot of people will say that these things, these developments, these ongoing events are going to take place. Aqua has said this so many times to you guys, pay attention because there's going to be huge major announcements as we continue to progress in 2026. And where did he get this information from? He got it from the source. And so I want you guys to really pay attention to key vocabulary that John Ungerland here says, because he specifically mentions that what's going to open the doorway for these credit unions to, allow these financial institutions to keep deposits from flooding their institutions is going to be their partnership with Metallicus and the tools specifically that Metallicus offers. That key vocabulary word right there, tools, when John Ungerland says that, is going to just go hand in hand with the recent announcement that has come into fruition as of yesterday, which we'll go over here in just a second. And so I just want to show you guys that this is just a fast-moving space, and it's very important to pay attention to these things and these ongoing happenings, even though obviously, of course, they don't reflect immediate price appreciation or price action. It just goes to show that they're still building, they're still working behind the scenes, and things are still happening that I really feel like are going to drive momentum once the regulation is in place and once the market sentiment turns back risk on. I firmly believe that Metal Blockchain, XPR Network are going to be top performers whenever we do see risk assets flip back risk on. All right. So just take a second real fast. Let's go back to this previous interview with John and listen to what he says and just look at Marshall Hayner's, confident expression on his face. He's smiling. He knows exactly what's happening. And then we're going to read a fundamental report that came out just recently yesterday via an announcement with Metallicus.
Then I'm sure JP Morgan and others and, Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, they'll be glad to gobble up market share and service digital for the 21st century, service wealth for the 21st century. So as regulation and legislation develop and become clearer federally and at the state level and global level, it's really important for local FIs to be proactive about getting plugged into this gateway and into these new types of money so that protecting their place in the stream of money. Here's what I mean by that. The next thing that we'll see coming is the digital asset space is going to erode your interchange income.
That's what I've heard.
If you're a local financial institution out there and you make money off of plastic cards, hypothetically, that interchange income is a significant portion of your non-interest income or your operating income. If it's how you're staying alive, I can almost guarantee you that by January of 2026, you will see major moves and announcements and plays by merchant processors and other large out there where they will adopt digital asset payments, they will adopt stablecoin payments, they will adopt Bitcoin payments, because it will have a significant impact on their operating costs, and they will incentivize consumers to move away from traditional payment mechanisms that are slower, more expensive, and less secure. So come downstream, more legislation, more regulation, driving the consumers into these spaces vis-a-vis FIs, and probably some disruption and challenges to payments. The good news is, through our bridge and gateway in partnership with Metallicus, we can make sure that your deposit dollars don't have to leave your FI. Yeah. You stay a funding source in the payment stream and the transaction stream, and you can maintain wealth and share of wallet and continue to serve the community even as money morphs in the way that other services did when they bumped into the internet in the past. Yeah. So that's what we see coming, and we're committed to ensuring the industry has a solid set of tools, the best set of tools, and a ready gateway, a functioning gateway. And I think another thing is this is real. We've built this, it's functioning.
Okay, so he mentioned that our industry and us specifically have the tools. He said specifically that key word, and he mentioned we have the functioning gateway, and he mentioned that gateway is their partnership with Metallicus, right?
Through our bridge and gateway and partnership with Metallicus, we can make sure that your deposit dollars don't have to leave your FI. Yeah. You stay a funding source in the payment stream and the transaction stream, and you can maintain wealth and share of wallet and continue to serve the community even as money morphs in the way that other services did when they bumped into the internet in the past. A solid set of tools, the best set of the tools, and a ready gateway, a functioning gateway. And I think another thing is this is real. We've built this, it's functioning.
That's going to go hand in hand with the fundamental piece that was just released. I pay attention to key vocabulary. So not only has Aqua been telling you guys, like, hey, look, these announcements are going to continue to progress in the coming months ahead. And now we're here in November, heading into December and into 2026, and we're seeing these things pick up. So there was a recent announcement in a post that I made on X, and I said here, in a nutshell, Metallicus and Metal Blockchain has the most innovative, secure, convenient financial tools. Not according to my opinion. This is coming from One Nevada Credit Union CEO and president. Recently, One Nevada Credit Union was also ranked number one nationally in the best credit unions to work for in 2025 by American Banker, which was on November 13th, 2025. And they currently have over $1.5 billion in total assets and serve 75,000 members with 14 branches and employees with approximate number of about 241. And so the reason why I'm reading this to you guys is because if we come over here to the recent announcement, keeping in mind what John Ungerlin said about how announcements are going to continue to pick up, and he specifically mentioned that we have the tools in order to do this, look at the vocabulary in this piece that Metallicus just put out. So it says here, Metallicus, a leader in blockchain tech for financial institutions and a core developer of the Metal blockchain, has today announced that One Nevada Credit Union has joined its stablecoin pilot program. The Metallicus stablecoin pilot is a controlled zero-risk sandbox that allows credit unions and other financial institutions to explore, test, and deploy custom-branded stablecoins in a secure, compliance-forward environment. Last week on our podcast, me and Aqua broke down in detail how Metallicus is providing this compliance-forward environment. Aqua, I don't remember specifically the acronym that you touched on that you were a little bit confused about, but you broke it down very good and thorough in detail, and I specifically touched on the importance of BSA compliance. Designed for institutions evaluating digital asset strategies, the pilot offers a crypto-free test environment with simulated reserves and production-grade controls. No member funds or live crypto assets are used during the pilot. So the reason why I like this is because Metallicus is very transparent. It's pretty much reading this. It's like, of course, it's not going to affect price action because they're literally telling you all that they're not utilizing live crypto assets yet during this pilot and that it's just in a test environment, simulated, right? So I really like that transparency from Metallicus because at least from being a part of the Metallicus community, especially in some of their private chats, there's no hopium, there's no inflated hype, there's no outrageous price predictions. Nobody's telling you or making content that metal's going to go to freaking $100 per coin. Everybody just knows. Everybody knows and is patient and understands what they're building behind the scenes, which I really enjoy. Money movement isn't just a service. It's how our members live and work and thrive. Our members deserve financial tools. So there's that key vocabulary right there. I'll highlight that. Our members deserve financial tools that move as fast as their lives do. Partnering with Metallicus through their innovation program and stablecoin pilot positions us for next generation digital payment solutions that ensure our members have access to the most innovative, secure, and convenient financial tools. Remember, I've told you guys that in these reports, when they say things twice and the key vocabulary links up with something that people say in a panel discussion, it's not by accident, okay? It is not by accident that John Ungerlin, he's sitting here saying financial tools and that Metallicus is providing them. Then you have another gentleman over here. So who's saying this? Steve O'Donnell, the president and CEO of One Nevada Credit Union, is saying that Metallicus has these financial tools, right? So huge announcement. as of recent from Metallicus, just kind of piecing things together for you guys, showing you all that video clips that Aqua was providing for you guys months ago are really starting to materialize. What John Ungerlin said, saying that partnerships and announcements are going to continue to pick up as we head into 2026, and talking specifically about financial tools that are going to be utilized, specifically talking about the Metallicus partnership between the two. And now we're starting to see that really come into fruition, right? So I really enjoyed reading this. It continues to go on and say credit unions are helping shape the future of digital finance, said Frank Mazza, director of blockchain for institution and fintechs at Metallicus. And with this pilot, we are collaborating with credit unions like One Nevada Credit Union to explore stablecoin technology in a secure and compliant environment, creating new opportunities to serve their members in innovative ways. The stablecoin pilot program includes a zero risk sandbox, test payment flows where they can run internal transfers and institution to institution simulations on a shared test network, and custom branded stablecoin issuance with secure deployment tailored to institutional policies and operational controls. So if we come over here, we know too, November 13th, 2025, One Nevada ranked the number one credit union to work for in 2025. Think about that. Think about the reputation that they hold, right? If Metallicus was such a scam and it was such a bad technology or they've done things bad in the past or whatever, would the number one credit union, right, come out publicly and have the audacity to announce that they're working directly in partnership and collaboration with Metallicus? I think not. So again, just trying to put you guys onto some things that have recently taken place to kind of get the brain juices flowing. And I thought that that was interesting that that also happened November 13th, 2025. So as of recent. Another thing that I want to bring to everybody's attention since this is a recording, you guys know those pictures, right? Those pictures, and I'm sure that you guys have seen these updates as of recent, but I found this post from November 23rd, 2025, and it says, can someone explain to me why XPR is never on the list of ISO 222 compliant crypto coins? And then this person tried to give some, I don't know, explanation. I'm not even going to go into that because I personally don't think that it has anything. I'm not going to sit here and debate whether it's important or whether it's not. But those pictures that you'll see on Twitter where they have every single token listed that are ISO compliant and they never have XPR and metal. Well, that is now officially changed. So, for example, any picture that you see like this is now an outdated picture, right? Why? Because as of recent, what did we have? Paul Gray posted this, notice something, ISO 222, with a link to CoinMarketCap. And CoinMarketCap has now updated the top ISO 222 tokens by market capitalization. And right there at the bottom now sits XPR Network and Metal Blockchain. So all the people that were naysayers saying that, or even just make posts that think that because XRP or Stellar or Hedera or Algo or whatever the case may be puts it at the forefront for mass institutional adoption because of its ISO 222 status, now needs to incorporate XPR and Metal Blockchain. And if they don't, they're just posting reciprocated, outdated information, right? So I just thought that that was all interesting. Lots of ongoing developments in the ecosystem for November 2025 in the Metallicus front. I just thought that I'd bring that to your guys' attention because I pay attention to key vocabulary. I even wrote down on my little tiny my note journal here at the 28-minute and 30-second timestamp, I mentioned and wrote down that John specifically said Metallicus is offering the tools in order to enable these financial institutions to pretty much remain relevant in this new digital era of finance. And then when I was reading this rising, I noticed these two vocabulary words coming straight from Steve O'Donnell, the president and CEO of One Nevada Credit Union. So I don't think it's by accident. I personally think it's on, or not by coincidence. These people know what's up. They're not going to risk their reputation with these partnerships. They know exactly what's happening behind the scenes. And again, I really like that Metallicus is transparent and letting us know that pretty much there isn't going to be any reflection on price appreciation because it's a test environment, right? They're testing this with no cryptocurrency assets during the pilot. So that's my spiel for Metallicus. I'll leave the floor open if you guys have anything on this forefront. Aqua or D'Angelo, whoever had their hand up, you guys are more than welcome to jump in for a second before we roll over to the trade breakdown.
Bro, that was a beautiful analysis.